Friends, today I'm going to share with you a story about two brothers from Pakistan that shook me to my core. When I first heard this story, I got chills. It made me question how far human cruelty can go. And trust me, when you hear this, it will shake your soul. You'll be left wondering if such events can really happen. Before we move ahead, quickly like this video and subscribe to the channel. The story begins in 2011, about 200 kilometers from Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. There is a place called Daryakhan where these two brothers lived. One was named Muhammad Farman Ali, and the other was Muhammad Arif Ali. Both were between the ages of 30 and 35, with about a 4 or 5 year difference in age. Both were married and had children. Their family was poor, and the area where they lived had many other similar settlements. Farman Ali was very intelligent in his studies but dropped out after the 10th grade. In 2010, both brothers' wives left them, taking their children with them. When asked why, they said their husbands used to beat them a lot. The strangest thing was that the brothers would disappear from home for days and never work properly, which led their wives to leave. But friends, in April 2011, a shocking incident occurred, which became the talk of the entire country within 24 hours. In the Bhakkar area where the two brothers lived, there was a graveyard. That day, a 24-year-old girl named Sarah Parveen, who had died of cancer, was buried there. After her family left, the next day, when they returned to the graveyard, they saw something that stunned them. The grave appeared to have been tampered with, as if someone had dug it up. Suspicious, they opened the grave and what they saw shook them to their core. The girl's body was missing. They immediately informed the police, and this news spread quickly across Pakistan. There had been a prior incident where someone had removed a body from a grave and committed a horrific crime, and a person was arrested. People began to link this case to that one, increasing public outrage against the police. The police started investigating the matter, questioning people in the vicinity of the graveyard. And then, the story took a new turn. A man informed the police that someone had been seen around the graveyard several times, and strange rituals were being conducted at his house. Acting on this tip, a police team with an inspector arrived at the house of the brothers, Farman Ali and Arif Ali, who lived with their parents and a sister. The police searched the house but didn't find much. Then they noticed a locked room. When asked, Farman said it was Arif's room, who wasn't home at the time. The police took the key and opened the room, and what they saw inside shocked them. In the middle of the room was a pot with some cooked meat in it. The police initially ignored it, but right beside the pot, there was a wooden butcher's block, a small axe, and a knife, all of which had pieces of meat on them. Then, the inspector noticed a trail of ants leading under a bed. Underneath, there was a sack. When the inspector had the sack brought out and opened, they found the body of 24-year-old Sarah Parveen, who had been buried in the graveyard. One of her legs had been cut off, and that leg was found in the pot, cooked. The police were horrified. It was revealed that the two brothers had cooked and eaten Sarah Parveen's flesh. The pieces of meat on the block, axe, and knife were from her body. Arif, who wasn't home, was also arrested. During interrogation, he admitted that his older brother Farman had cooked the meat after they had dug up the body. When the pot was sent for forensic analysis in Multan, it was confirmed that it contained human meat. When this news reached the public, the entire neighborhood surrounded the brothers' house. People realized that they were living among cannibals who dug up graves and ate the bodies. When the brothers were questioned in jail, they revealed a chilling truth. They confessed that they had eaten more than 100 bodies. They claimed that a witch doctor had told them that if they ate human flesh, all their problems would go away. Since they didn't have the courage to kill living people, they watched the graveyard, and whenever a new body was buried, they would dig it up, bring it home, and eat the flesh. When the brothers were brought to court, the public was furious. People were blocking traffic and demanding that the brothers be handed over to them. But friends, the story doesn't end here. Once someone becomes a cannibal, they become a slave to their hunger for human flesh. In court, it was revealed that there was no specific law under which they could be punished. In the end, both brothers were sentenced to 2 years in prison for the inhumane treatment of corpses. In 2013, after serving their sentence, they were released. When they returned home, the community fiercely protested their return. The police provided them with security, and they eventually left the area. For about a year, there was no trace of them, as the police advised them to keep their identities hidden. But then, in April, the police received a call about a foul odor coming from a house. The police arrived at the location and entered the house with some local elders, but even the neighbors didn't know who was living there. Inside, they found a reef. The police searched the house but found nothing suspicious until they reached a locked room. When they opened it, they were horrified. In the middle of the room was the severed head of a child. A reef was immediately arrested, and upon interrogation, it was revealed that the head belonged to a child who had recently died in the neighborhood, whose body was dug up from the graveyard. These cannibalistic brothers had eaten the child's body and several other corpses. They were brought to court again, and it was revealed that even after serving their 2-year sentence, their hunger for human flesh had not subsided. Shockingly, they had consumed more than 150 bodies. People who visited graves for prayers or to lay flowers began to wonder if the bodies were even still there. Under police pressure, further interrogation revealed that these brothers would cook human meat into curry and eat it with bread or rice. Now the Pakistani police and courts were left wondering what punishment could be given. Finally, in 2015, it was decided that they would be sentenced to 12 years in prison, meaning they would remain in jail until around 2027 or 2028. The question is, when they are released, will they return to their cannibalistic habits? So friends, this was a true story that shames humanity. It's likely to haunt our minds for a long time. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and if you want to hear more true crime stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel.